Okay, okay. Well, thank you very much again, everyone. My name is Farouk Abdul-Salam. I'm currently in Vancouver, Canada, as I mentioned earlier. I'm an economist with Amazon, and I completed my PhD almost a year or more ago. And this program here was born out of one or two necessities. So I'll just take you guys through as to what the program is about and also give you guys the reason behind it. So let me, as I mentioned earlier, what's really necessitated this program. With this application program, what we intend to do with this program is basically to give you guys a general overview as to what to expect as you transition from your be it your undergrad to your grad school, especially those interested in schools in Canada and probably in the US. So general information on this program is basically what to apply and what are the requirements. And as part of the requirements, you might have CV, statements of interest. You know, these questions come a lot. How do I prepare them? How do I get myself ready for the grad school with respect to these documents? So these are questions that have been lingering in your minds, and hopefully with this program, we can answer them as they come along. And in terms of scholarship, and this is very key, how do I apply for scholarships? What should I put in my application just so I get my scholarship? And if everything goes to plan, if you have to get your admission, the issue here is the visa application. How do I apply for a visa and how do I get a visa? So these are questions that come our way. Finally, when you have to get your visa and then you're coming to a new place like Canada or the US, the question here is, who is going to pick me out the airport? Do I know anyone? How can I get my accommodation? So these are questions that have been coming I realized during my grad school, people ask a lot. So when I completed school, I was like, okay, if that's the case, let's try and put together a program that can assist students in that regard. Now, in terms of the financial aspects that I also, encountered during my graduate school, you see students coming to you that, hey, I would like to apply to this school, but I don't have the money to pay for this application fee. I'd like to apply to this school, but I don't have the money to take the GRE exam and whatnot. So those are the financial constraints that also came along the way. Lastly, the opportunities, getting to know who is in this school, how can I get myself engaged to this person, trying and get myself ready for this particular program. So these are questions that came in. I was like, okay, if that's the case, we can put together a program that can, assist students from your application to your visa application to picking you up at the airport and making sure that at least if you have any questions during your stay, we can be of help and make your life much easier. So that's a general background behind what this program is about. So the primary objective is what I mentioned. The secondary objective is visa, settling yourself and whatnot. Now, in terms of misconceptions and also things that I would like to, make clear to you guys is basically I don't charge anything. And those that you see here in terms of assisting with this organization and whatnot will not take a dime from you. So there's no payment needed from your side. We don't charge you. We don't take anything from you. We rather come in and support you financially. So that's one thing that you should keep in mind. In terms of scholarship, so when we put out this notice, what you realize is students coming in to say, hey, can you help me gain this scholarship? Can you help me gain that scholarship? And the answer here is no, we don't do that. The guide is you do 99% of the job, we come in and help you 1%. So everyone that you see today, from Samira to Hamida to Nanatevia to Ransford to Thomas and whatnot, those who made it, they did the job. 99% of the job was done by them. 1%, we just came in to assist them. So if you want to be spoon-fed in terms of your graduate school application, I guess the answer here is no, this will not be a program for you. But if you're really determined to pursue your graduate school dream and you are ready to put in the work, by following the guide that we provide you, then I believe this will be a program for you. So that's one thing I would like everyone to know before we proceed with this discussion. So that's the initiative, what we aim to achieve from this initiative. Now, last year, what happened last year, I think we had quite a successful program. The organizers were Fauzia Ali. She organized the female session and she assisted with almost 20 students or so. And I finally assisted with 12 or so payments. We have Shafiq Osman, who happens to be a lawyer. He also assisted us a lot by reviewing statements of interest and making sure that the announcement is out and getting interested students on board. We also had Fatima Abdul-Salam. She was the one in charge of the organization, documents, making sure we have everything in order, and shortlisting of the students and whatnot. Others also came to assist along the line, the likes of Marcy, who happens to be in Toronto, John Owusu, who assisted with most of you visa packaging, how to write your visa applications and whatnot. We also have Dennis Duga, Dr. Dennis, who also assisted with political science, and Fauzia also came in to assist a lot. So initially, when we put out this notice, we had almost 300 students or more applying. At the end of the day, we couldn't afford to pay for the application fee for the 300 students. So we shortlisted 30 students and paid the partial payment for it. So at the end of the day, we paid almost $2,000 for these students. And in terms of those who were successful, we were able to get 10 students admitted. And currently we have more than 6 or so who happen to be in Canada or the US. Again, it's not as if we did the job. They did 99% of the job. We just came in to assist 1%. And 1% is basically saying that, hey, we assisted them with how to write their CV, their statement of interest, partially paying their application fee if need be, and also making sure that all the necessary documentations are in place. So that's a general overview of the program. That's the success story so far. So for today's discussion, I've been able to get in touch with 6 of the students who were able to make it during last year's program. They are going to be here. You can ask any question that you have, and hopefully they can help clarify. So we have Ransford, as I mentioned earlier. Samira is in the US. Now Gloria is currently in Canada. Nanateria is in Canada. We have Hamida. Hamida is in the US. And we have Thomas. Thomas will be joining us in Canada soon. So in terms of your preparation, so if you're relatively new to grad school application, if you are currently new to grad school application, first of all, if you want to apply, you have to know the course that you're applying to. So you did statistics in undergrad, you would like to pursue statistics in grad school. So you just keep an eye on that. Get to know your class and your grade points. So if you are having a second class upper, what type of upper do you have? If you have a first class, what type of first class do you have? Have in mind the competition that you'll be coming across and how do you stand out? So these are questions that you probably might want to have as you prepare your package. Also get to know when you completed. So from last year's discussion, we realized was if you happen to be relatively new in terms of your graduation, the chances are that you might make it compared to someone who might have finished his or her undergrad 6 or 5 years ago. That might be a bit hard for that fellow. So these are a couple of considerations that you should have in your mind. In terms of references, get to know who is going to provide you with your reference. You also have to be flexible in your programs. For instance, if you did statistics and you are finding it hard to get into the statistics program, you might want to transition to economics. So these are questions that you should have, and make sure that at the end of the day, you can transition easily. In terms of the school choice, I'll be coming to explain to you guys how to select your schools, but just keep in mind that some schools are very high in terms of their ranking, others are medium rank. So if you are playing this game, just make sure that you don't go choose all top schools, because the chances might be lower compared to the medium schools. So just make sure you have this considerations in mind, and what are your future goals. And also, when you're applying to school, as I advised most of the students from last year, don't apply to only one school. You have to apply to more schools and strategize. And at the end of the day, if you have to get more offers from the schools, you can use one school to get more funding from the other school. So this is what we discussed last year. If you would like to see last year's video, it will be on my website. I'll just show you guys where to find it. So that's the general preparation guide as we prepare ourselves for the schools. Now, the next question that I believe comes across most of the times is what school should I apply to? Now, this question is a very hard question. So as I mentioned to you, the research will be done by you. So with this program, what we intend to do here is to make your lives easier. So if you're interested in Canadian schools and you don't know the specific school to apply to, you can go to my website. So when you click on this link here, it will show you all the schools that you have in Canada, or all the provinces that you have in Canada. That is to say, these are the regions that you have in Canada, and you can click on that particular region, maybe Greater Accra region, as an example. It will show you the schools and that particular region. Then you can select that particular school, Google this particular school, and get to see the programs that they offer. Now, if you see the programs that they offer, you can, shortlist it and go like, hey, this school offers a program related to my field. It might be a school that I would like to apply to. So these are very important questions that you for sure have to answer as you apply to schools either in Canada or in the US. In terms of the application fee, as I mentioned, you have to get to know how much they are charging for the application fees. The deadline, get to know when they are closing the applications. In terms of the department requirement, you have to check whether they need GRE or GMAT. And if they do need it, are you ready to write it? Do you have the money to do that? So these are the questions that you have to really keep in mind. And in terms of the English proficiency, I wouldn't advise anyone to write this because we are an English-speaking country, Ghana, I mean. This, you can get a letter and they can waive this for you. Some schools will require you to get a supervisor before you start your application. And this is mostly the sciences, the engineering, the engineering related courses. So just keep in mind. Some schools will also advise that you evaluate your transcript. If you have to do this, it might be an expensive venture. So just keep in mind whether you need it or not. So at the end of the day, these are very important questions that you probably might want to answer before you start with any application at all. And if any of these questions are not answered, then you probably might want to be careful when applying. Now, if you want to watch a video as to how to apply and search for schools, this video here is going to help you. So when you click on this particular slide, we do have a session with Gina. And here I take you guys through understanding the school system, understanding how to apply to the school and whatnot. So hopefully with these materials on the website, your life might be much easier as you apply to these schools. Now, in terms of CV, as I mentioned, CV is very important. So initially when we started with this program, what we realized was that the CV that came our way, I think it wasn't well written, to be frank with you. It wasn't tailored towards education or graduate school. So what we did was to assist you write a very good CV. So if you're interested in writing a CV, this is going to be a general guide as to how your CV should look. And I have a video session with the student from last year's program as to how to write a CV and the materials that you need to write a very good CV. So again, please go back to this video or probably go back to their website and get to see how to write a CV using LaTeX. It's very easy. If you have questions, hopefully our next session might be of help in doing that. In terms of your statement of purpose as well, as I mentioned, as you prepare for this related graduate school related programs, you need to write statement of purpose. You can find that one on the website as well. Now, so let's imagine the situation where you are done with your CV, you're done with your statement of purpose, you're done finding a very good school for to meet your needs. The next thing that comes to mind is, how do I do the payment? And this is going to be a very tough question for most of you, because you don't have probably the Visa card to do the payment. And here they require you to have Visa card to do your payment. So here, what our program did was, we assisted you with the payments as well. So when you're done with your package and you want to submit, you can just contact myself, or you can contact Fauzia Ali, and the two of us can assist you with the payment. And make sure you avoid the bank charges that came your way, the very expensive ones, I mean. You also have to have in mind those who are ready to provide you references. So you don't want to start an application without informing your professors that, hey, I'm interested in this program, so assist me with this reference or that reference. So just keep in mind with that as well. Also, just make sure you have all the necessary documents that they need in terms of your transcripts and your certificate and whatnot. So as I mentioned, this will be on my website as well from last year's discussion. In terms of the post submission, when you're done with your submission, there are a couple of things that you need to do. Get to know that whether your application has been received, whether you've been accepted. If you've been accepted, the visa application process, how does it go? So with this, our program will also come in to assist you and advise you along the way. So with regards to this year's program, I'm going to keep the same format. Again, what our program is going to do here is fairly simple. You apply using the link that was posted on Facebook or any other channel that you saw it. And when you click here, you see the link here. You give me your details in terms of your school, your email address, or contact, and your class, and your transcript, as well as your CV. Then, based on last year's experience, when we started, almost 300 of you applied. Now, out of these 300, we kind of categorize you into 5 categories: business, those in the pure sciences, those in the Art 1, Art 2, and then the other. So out of these 300, I categorize you, and out of each category, I pick the top 5. So at the end of the day, the top 5 from each category will receive partial payment of their application fee. So generally, in Canada, the application fee is around $100. So with this, what I do here is, you pay the $50 and I come in here to assist you with the other $50. Ideally, I wanted to do the full payment, which is the $100. But based on the number of applicants that we received last year, I think it just wasn't possible. So I had to give the partial payment just so more students will get the chance to at least apply. So that's what happened last year. And the good news is, at least we were able to assist almost 30 students with a partial payment. At least you save yourself almost 400 cedis or something along those lines, given the recent exchange rate. Now, if you are being shortlisted and you don't provide your documents on time, then someone who is on the waiting list will come and take your place, and we do the payment for that particular person. It's that simple. So just keep in mind as we shortlist. And if you want to see the result from last year's program, you can equally use this link. So this is all about our program. Just to reiterate, we are not going to offer you the scholarship. No, you have to do the search yourself, but we are going to make the search easier. We are not going to spoon feed you. No, you have to work 99% of the time, but we'll come in and make sure that your process is clean enough to give you a very good shot at the graduate school program. We are not going to ask for anything from you. No, we are rather going to support you financially by assisting you with the partial payment of your application fee, as you might have realized. And that's all I have for now. I'm going to leave the floor to our applicants from last year, the success stories we had from last year, Ransford, Samira, Nana, Hamida, and Thomas. They are going to be here to answer your questions. If you have any special questions related to the program, please feel free to ask me as well. The organizers, Fauzia, Shafiq, and Fatih, can equally come in and answer your questions based on their experience from last year. I believe we have about, so I think I'm going to open the floor for questions. Please feel free. We are open for questions now. Let me see. I think we do have a couple of chats. Yeah, we do have a couple of questions. And yeah, go ahead.
All right. Please, Bernard from K University.
Okay. Hi, Bernard.
All right. I wanted to, I'm often engineering, specifically metallurgical engineering. And then I've seen that most of these engineering courses, they require you to first contact a supervisor. So how should we do that, or what is the appropriate way of doing that?
That's a very good question, Bernard. So let me quickly take you back to my website. So last year, I think that was a blocker that we realized from last year. So we invited this professor. He's a Ghanaian professor, but he happens to be in Canada. His name is Professor Solomon Boache. Okay, so he came in here to assist us with that discussion. So when you go to my website, you see our session with Professor Solomon. So this is Professor Solomon, and he can assist with the engineering related difficulties. And I can also give you a link to his website page where he tries to advise you guys as in how to get supervisors and whatnot. So just to reiterate, if you go here, you can watch the session that we had with Professor Solomon. This is a session that I had with him. He will answer those questions for you. And if you are interested in getting the link to join his website, his WhatsApp page, please let me know. I can send it to you as well.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
I'm interested.
Yeah, I'll do that. Any questions for those from last year? I really want you guys to ask them questions, how they were able to make it, and and also try to understand the process that they went through. Feel free to ask questions. Open for discussion.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Solomon, UCC.
Okay.
Yes, I think I missed where you were talking about filling some form also and all that. I missed that part. I'm really interested in applying to schools in Canada. So
okay, let me quickly go back. I think that's a very good question. So I think we posted this link on the Facebook page, I believe. So so let me quickly go back here and see whether I can pick it up. So if you're interested, this is the link to it. So yeah, let me post it in our chat. Let me see whether this works. I'm going to post it in our chat here, see whether you guys can apply. Just feel free to apply. Let me know whether I can be of help. I can shortlist you guys, make sure I assist in that regard. So I just posted it here. If you guys are interested in joining the program, this year's program, just use this link and upload the CVs, and hopefully we can pick it up from there. Any questions from the participants? Anyone with any additional questions?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Please, my name is Abdul-Salam.
Okay.
I'm interested in hearing from one of the, I would say, volunteers who are now in Canada to take us through maybe how they did their research and ended up getting the admission.
Okay. Good. I think that's a very good point. So I'm just going to leave so I think we have, barely 5 minutes left for this Zoom meeting. So if this meeting is to stop, at any time, please feel free to rejoin. Hopefully we can get additional time from that end. So as you guys have realized, Samira, Nana, Hamida, Thomas, Ransford, please feel free to share your experience if you are okay with it. Maybe I might start with Ransford. Ransford?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, yeah, hi, Ransford.
Yeah, good evening to everyone, and good evening to you, Dr. Farouk, for giving me the opportunity to also, contribute my quota to the study abroad initiative that you started last year. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us. As you rightly said, we did 99% of the whole thing, and your 1% even came to broke the horse back. I think it was a major issue or the major decision that really helped us. So someone was asking how we did the whole thing. So the thing is, now everything is online, so Google can give you everything. What I'm trying to say is, let's say if you want to apply for philosophy or psychology in Canada, and you don't have any school in mind, you can. Dr. Farouk gave us a link that you can use to see all the schools that we have in Canada. And so maybe if you want to study in maybe Newfoundland, the only thing you have to do is maybe masters in philosophy in maybe British Columbia, and you get a lot of schools. So when you go to the school, maybe in University of Vancouver, you will see their philosophy or psychology department, and you see the admission requirements. So that's the most important thing you have to do. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to see whether you are eligible for the program that you want to apply to. If you are eligible, fine. The next thing for you to do is you jot down the eligibility criteria. Yes, like what Dr. Farouk is saying. So all the schools are here. So if you are interested in Ontario, Alberta, just click on that, go to the school, look at their eligibility requirements or admission requirements, and jot those requirements down. Come back to your personal study area and see how you can get all those documents that they want. And if you encounter any problem, we are here to help you. That I think it's level 60 seconds, so I will end here for someone also coming. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, hopefully when this Zoom meeting stops, I will try and reconnect again, and feel free to come back. I think we do have more to say from last year's participants, and hopefully Ransford can come back again. Let me see the one we have next. Hopefully Samira. Hi Samira, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the guy who spoke earlier has said everything, but then what I would like to add is that for this to be successful, you have to be really intentional about it. So for me, I actually got an exercise book,